Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back. All right, so first off, the winners of the prizes yesterday, okay? The winner of the deck is Julia Loves Life. All right. The winner of the Goddess of the Moon pendant is T0321, and it's spelled T like the letter T, EE, like I guess like a golf tee, 0321. And then the third winner, the winner of the snake pendant is Lenora Cruz. All right, so those three winners, if you guys would take a moment and send me an email, my email is listed in the description box. So send me an email that has your whatever address you want me to mail it to. I don't care where it is. None of that matters to me. I just need to know where I should ship a prize away. I will respond to you within 24 hours. To let you know that I got your email. So if you didn't hear from me within 24 hours, just know that probably something didn't get through properly. So I would always suggest copy and paste my email into your email so that there's maybe not a chance for a typo. Anyway, thank you so much. And anyone who didn't win this round, please don't be upset because I have lots more things that we'll be giving away. I'm super excited. It'll still be almost 2 weeks before I start doing this. So right about middle of September. And that is mostly because I am a crazy Virgo perfectionist once in a while that I have to have everything packaged cute. So we all just got to chill for just a little bit longer. And then I can't wait to do this. So there's lots more things. And spoiler alert, I know a lot of you, it looked like we're really interested in that snake pendant. I may have more. So just saying. So yeah, we've got lots of fun stuff coming up. And other thing I wanted to mention really quickly is, and this is true for any time you guys write me messages, a lot of times people will think that they've been blocked. You have not been blocked. Most likely, in the history of my channel, I think I've only had to block like 350 accounts. And I call them accounts because a lot of those were spams. A lot of those were, things that are like, they're not even real people. So I block very, very few. I only block people that, are rude, people that tell me what to do, tell me off, tell me all kinds of things. You can't even imagine some of the stuff that I hear, but I pretty much don't block very frequently, right? So the thing to know is that oftentimes comments will actually get held by the sensitivity filter on YouTube. And I'm super grateful YouTube has this. It allows me to go through, and because sometimes I will delete comments. Like, it's not like maybe you said something that was horribly inappropriate, but I still have, this is my home and I'm the hostess, and it's like I'm hosting a big party. And so I want everyone to always be able to, think their thoughts, share their thoughts, but at different times in life, different parties that we attend, we're not going to jump into like political arguments on my channel, right? There's nothing wrong with having your political opinions. I support you in whatever you believe, but this is just not the place for it. So I don't block you, but I might delete a comment here or there. It's not to be rude. It's just because I'm the hostess. If we were in real life, in real time, and I was having a party and somebody was, expressing themselves, I would gracefully probably like, hey, let's redirect conversation. And probably no one would even notice that I did it, because that's what a hostess does, right? We keep the party flowing. So just bear that in mind. Don't be offended. But the big thing with all of this is that what I have to do is I go through and I do approve all those comments, except for the few that maybe I have to delete just because it's my prerogative to do so. Again, don't get ticked off. It's my house, so I make the rules, yes. But all that being said, when you enter to win, even if you didn't see your comment come up, I take the time and I go through and I approve all those comments before I pick winners. So please just know I do see that you entered. You are successfully entered, and all of that I hope makes sense. Sorry about the really long intro, but this is super important that I make sure you guys know this, because I don't want anybody to think that you're being left out, okay? These prizes that I give away, it is for my subscribers. To subscribe is free. You click the button to say subscribe, and ta-da! It's how I thank my subscribers for supporting my channel all this time. So that's the only other thing that I would mention about that is, if you're wondering how or why I do these giveaways, is because you guys are so awesome. You're supporting my channel, my free art, in those free ways, and I like to say thank you. It's fun. So I think that's it. I think that's all of our announcements. Let's get into a story, shall we? All right. So let us begin. I want to start out by just saying thank you guys for all your, oh my God, it was definitely an adult's world I was living in yesterday. So perfect, because I turned 42 and man, I got hit with every big grown-up thing you can imagine. And so Was it a good day? Well, yeah, actually, it was a wonderful day. But did I have some huge car bills and things that came up out of nowhere? Yes. And public service announcement, check your brake lines, everybody, because yes, rubber ages. So I'm very fortunate that we didn't have an accident yesterday, but it was extremely, extremely potential that that would have happened. So I feel so fortunate. I feel so protected. So we start out with the Magician. Talk about the universe looking out for somebody on this one. Also, I want to add something very special. What is behind him is a very faded image of my all-time favorite painting. It is called The School of Athens. It's by Raphael, and it is located in Rome. And I cannot even believe that this is maybe the first time this card has come out, because I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. I don't use this deck a whole lot, but I do love it. The fact that we have the School of Athens, I should mention about this painting, is it's remarkable. It shows all of the great mathematicians, the Greek philosophers. There's I think it's Plato and Aristotle are actually shown smack dab in the middle having an argument. You can almost make out those two figures. I have a print of this hanging in my house, actually. And so it's all about the argument between above versus below. Like, is mankind here to basically like work on the spiritual life, or is mankind here as a spiritual creature to work on the 3D life? The fact that that is what's behind our Magician, I have to say, those thoughts are in the back of our mind. I would argue, and also there's like every great mathematician, Pythagoras is in here. Like, if you look at the whole laundry list of the figures that he painted himself into this painting as well. But if you look at the whole laundry list of everyone in this, it's remarkable, a fabulous painting. Anyway, enough about that, but it's really cool to have that showing up. The Magician, Virgo Gemini energy, is supposed to be the power of universe within us, is how I interpret this card. It's our ability to be creators in this lifetime. We were created, yes, but then within us lies that same little spark of creative idea and genius, and the idea that we can take a thought, or even a thought and an emotion, and then we can actually create something, thanks to the fact that we have these little fingers and these little hands that can actually assemble the ideas that we have. So it's this powerful reminder that whatever we want, it's within our grasp, but it should be governed by that the great thoughts, the superior thoughts of what the human intellect can contemplate, right? Shouldn't be the base desires, the greed, the hunger for fame or fortune. It should be governed by, hey, am I a spiritual person here having a 3D existence, or is my 3D existence only so that I can honor the spiritual? Well, somewhere in between might be where the truth of it lies. That's my interpretation. Tell me what you think about that. But I really like the fact that we are beginning with such a strong, sorry, this is such a lengthy reading already. We have the Moon card next. Piscean energy. So our lead character has a question mark in their mind. Now, remember, I'm beginning this storyline by saying yesterday was my birthday, and I had really just a lot of huge things that happened yesterday that were all very 3D oriented. Like, there was a ton that I needed to handle. It was a very busy day, but it was more like a business filled day. And it was business that couldn't wait, right? It was a car with brake lines that actually ruptured. It was serious stuff to handle. And so that kept me in the 3D world yesterday, right? But it's interesting because yesterday was also the day of my birth. So that mystery of life combined with, wow, I'm very much here, right? I'm very much living with my feet on this earth. So what I would interpret this as, given the way we started this story, this person is questioning, what is my big purpose here on earth? What is it? Because they're leaning right now towards saying, okay, wait a second, I'm supposed to create something right here, right now. I feel it. I sense it. What is it supposed to be? We have a 6 of coins in the reverse. We have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And we have 6 of swords in the reverse. We have got a situation where somebody says, is there something that I either am not able to let go of, some action that I need to take in regards to another person or something that I'm not truly in my heart of hearts ready to walk away from? Do I still need to communicate with someone? Do I need to do something? Why have I not walked away from this? The big question that this person is posing to themselves, whoever this lead character is. And please be mindful, even though I always start these readings with something real that happened in my world, this is not my personal reading. It's just that I look for inspiration that comes from something tangible first, just in this bonus read that I do. There's a sense of loss that it needs to still be addressed. So our lead character, whomever they are, and this could be someone other than the viewer listening to this could be, whomever our lead character is, there is a huge sense of loss, and somebody is able to stand there and they can see exactly what it is they're getting clarity on. Why do I feel this way? What is it that I know that I've lost? What is it that I know I've missed out on? Okay. If they know that they've missed out on something with that 5 of Cups, that's a huge sense of regret that somebody is having. Page of Swords, somebody watches, looks at things, is still heavily contemplating either, why did I lose this? Why can't I move on from this? What is the action that I still need to take in the 3D? And they're getting closer to an answer. Okay, if they're getting closer to an answer here because they're aware, somebody is like, they're really thinking, why am I feeling this? Let's stick with this deck a little bit longer, but I got to scoot these cards over because I don't have enough room right now. If they keep thinking about this and they know, it's like, I don't understand what my sense of loss is, but I do recognize that if I think about it long enough, I'm aware that I made the wrong turn somewhere. I have to say it this way. It's crystallizing in their mind that they made an epic mistake, possibly with a person, a place, or a thing that they didn't invest in, and they're recognizing that is the thing that has thrown me off course. It's almost like, okay, let's think of it this way. When you pick a color to paint your house, and it's really hard to figure it out sometimes because you get those little tiny color swatches and you go, this is good. I'm going to paint a blue house. But unless you're really, really good with color, you may not realize that blue comes in a lot of different varieties. Like, what's the undertone? Is it more blue gray? Is it more blue purple? Is it more like blue green? Because especially once you put it on a huge thing like a house, it's going to pick up different colors. You also might want to contemplate what color is on either side of you. What are those other houses colored like? Because you could go from, well, I thought it was a really pretty blue shade, but now I painted my whole house and I go, oh, this is horrible. It's not blue. This is like, steel gray that looks dirty. It looks like ash settled on my powdery blue house. This is not what I wanted at all. And I feel like that's the equivalent. Somebody chose to, based off of just a little tiny swatch of information, they said, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. And then they painted their whole house. They painted basically the landscape of their life with something. And they realized, this was so wrong. Yes, I wanted it to be in the blue family, but I didn't realize at that point how many shades of blue there are. Now, if this was about romance, this person might have chosen the wrong partner. They might have chosen not to invest in something, and everything is off kilter now. Whatever it is that they chose to, they chose to walk away from something. They chose not to cross that bridge. You see the bridge over here that leads to the castle, and this person is on the wrong side of the bridge. So it's not even that they picked the wrong person, it's that they didn't choose to cross the bridge. And at one point they thought, yes, this is right. I'm not going to do that. I've chosen, a different color swatch that's going to take me in a different direction. But as soon as they made that choice, it feels like everything has been just a little off kilter, and they can't figure out why, or haven't been able to figure out what is always off. They're recognizing now what it is. It's always off. You don't want to make decisions sometimes off of a little itty bitty, what we think is a little tiny piece of information, unless we are able to say that my spiritual self is in agreement, like my gut and my instinct, my logic, all those, my heart, my logic, and my gut all tell me the same thing with that little piece of information. But I feel like somebody might have isolated and just gone with, like, mentally, here's the information, This is what the decision I'm going to make because I looked at this. This person doesn't fit my criteria, so I'm not going to give to them. And they went a different direction. And now they're like, how could I have made a decision like that? Why did I use such narrow criteria? Why did I use such a tiny piece of information to decide that that couldn't be my lover? That couldn't be my person. I feel like with the sun in the reverse, this is so it's so bittersweet, because on one hand, this person is like becoming very aware, right? They're finally understanding, why have I felt off kilter? Why has nothing felt right? They're understanding it. So enlightenment is great. And the sun always shines, even if there's clouds in front of it, right? We can still tell if it's day or night, even if our eyes are shut. But there is certainly a huge lack of vibrancy if our eyes are shut. And someone is at least becoming aware of the mistake they made. They might also be becoming aware of, I wish I needed to invest in that. I need to repaint my house color. So now they know what they need to do. But knowing how unhappy they are that they made that huge mistake in the first place, the sun also represents that because it's in the reverse. It's also perhaps, I don't know how to fix this. I only know now that I've been trying to figure out what has been wrong, what has been off kilter. And again, I think we're going to go back to that concept of, Aristotle and Plato, like, is it above or below? What is it that we're trying to figure out in this lifetime? Do we live here? Do we live there? Or are we something in between? And I kind of feel like maybe that we're talking about the logic versus the heart or the instinct, So which was more important? And I feel like somebody used, instead of their whole being to make a decision, they used one part and I'm guessing it was just the brain. So we have a 7 of Wands in the reverse. We have a 9 of Swords in the reverse. And we have the Emperor in the reverse. Someone does not know how to take charge of something. They know that they could, but they aren't. The fix for this lies solely on their shoulders, but they are not moving forward to fix anything. All this is right now in this whole storyline is someone becoming aware of the mistake they made. That's a big part of the battle, right? But recognizing that there isn't a gigantic obstacle. They could fix this, but for some reason they're not. I don't understand. That's a lack of taking charge of something, even once something has become, well, obvious. The Emperor in the reverse, Ace of Coins in the reverse. Someone thinks that it's too late. It's too late to go back in time. Tell me, why do they see the 9 of Swords in the reverse and the 7 of Wands in the reverse? It's almost like this person is simply becoming aware. Knight of Swords, Death upright, Queen of Swords. Oh, because they say, I missed my opportunity with somebody. She moved on. This Queen of Swords laid out a boundary. She moved on. Now she's just a ghost. She's just a ghost at this point. Death card is here. She ended things with me. And she moved on swiftly. So this person believes that the individual that they are now aware, I'm going to say that they messed things up with. And I only say that because we've seen them have those deep regrets. How could I not have crossed that bridge? Why would I have decided you couldn't? She wasn't for me. Why would I have chosen that? Sorry, we dropped her on the ground. And maybe that's significant too. But you know what? I'm going to pick her up. She's not getting dropped on the ground. Not in my world. Hail to the no. She deserves to be scooped up, picked up. This person is, I feel like this individual is sitting in frustration, sitting in maybe I'm going to say self-loathing. That's a harsh word to use. But remember, what they're saying is there's no point in me worrying about it. There's no point in it at all, right? Because here's the bottom line. I didn't invest in her. There's no point in me stressing out about it because what's done is done. She's gone. She when I didn't invest in her, she said, oh, so that's how you treat me. Never mind. I'm out. I'm gone. Don't contact me again. I feel like she wasn't willing to have anything of this. Not with the Death card here. She's just a ghost of a memory now. This whole thing might just be representing like a situation that she swiftly had to move on from because it was like, I got to put distance between myself and this. The person that didn't choose me, that didn't invest in me, that decided I wasn't worthy of crossing the bridge for, gone. And again, here's that spirituality coming in, right? The ghosts represent the spiritual side of things. She might have been a very deeply spiritual person, but interestingly enough, as spiritual as she is, also a Queen of Swords is exceptionally logical. So we see representation of her being able to work with both her mind and her logic, as well as her spiritual side with that Death card. Scorpio energy here. Aries over here. But I feel like this, we're going to call him the Emperor in the reverse. So it's a story right now between an Emperor and a Queen of Swords. Remember, not gender specific though. This could be same-sex couples, could be anything. It's interesting, isn't it, though, that they show up here, even here on that coin, as the Emperor wearing their crown. Yeah, there is a sense of they won't take responsibility and try to correct things. Instead, they're saying, I failed and this is my punishment. There's no point in me thinking about it. She left me and she should have. She decided to make me a ghost in the back of her memory because I didn't cross the bridge. I chose to not invest in her. This person, on one hand, you could say, I don't know, that Emperor's got an awful lot of stress over this, though, even though they're saying, well, no point in being stressed out about this. What's done is done. But they're an Emperor in the reverse for a reason. Tell me more about the Emperor in the reverse right now. Because I feel like this whole storyline so far has been mostly about them. 7 of Coins in the reverse, Judgment. Wow. And they're sitting there doing that stinking thinking. This is tough because they see no way to make change moving forward. Like their time has run out. Like I have this image right now of like, instead of sand running through like an hourglass, there's something here about opportunities that have, or coins, like think of a piggy bank that, there's like a drop of money, or maybe a slot machine. Maybe that's a better way to say it. You keep feeding money in the slot machine and you keep seeing the money that you put in just go down, 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 because you're not winning on the slot machine, to the point where no more money, no more fun at the slot machine. But in this case, I feel like they might have had ample time to come to this conclusion. Subconsciously, they might have kind of known it, but they wouldn't identify it. Here, you notice that this person is made of stone, and next to them there is, another individual, wrapping around them with this anguished face. Again, made of stone. That is representing the two halves of themselves. And here's like the spiritual side of life, like almost imploring, hovering above, like these are the person's guides. This would be their higher self saying, sweetheart, what are you doing sitting around doing nothing? You're made of stone. You're sitting there. I don't know. I don't know if I would want to cross that bridge with that person. Meanwhile, their heart is down here like, oh my God, what are you doing? Please get up and go walk toward the person that you love. But this person sat here like a big old lump. Sorry. Doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine. I'm not talking about a gender, just talking about the character. This was the part that they had to first reconcile. Not necessarily first reconcile with the queen, but reconcile with themselves. Their body, mind, and spirit, or their higher self, with their brain, with their heart. They needed to first get those 3 things in alignment, because this person sat there only in cold logic, and they would not listen. In fact, they shut out their heart, and they also definitely ignored their higher self. Their higher self was like gently imploring. Their heart was begging. And the more they heard both of those messages coming, the more they're like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think so. So this person, their time ran out. And now they kind of just turned into this lump of stone like this. Now they're just now starting to reconcile what they did is what this looks like. Maybe why are they figuring this out now? Okay. That came out fast. Fortitude. Strength card. By the way, I love the strength card because it reminds me so much of my dog. When my dog plays with me, he looks just like this. My mom's like, oh, what's he doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? He'll never bite me. I'm like, this is very much what my boy looks like. But this is a wolf. This strength card, Leo energy. I'm asking the question, why did somebody do this? Why are they understanding what they did now? because I think that their lack of courage, when I said it's a little bit of like self-loathing right now that person might be going through, they're realizing it was fear that held them back. They're finally understanding it wasn't that they were looking for a reason not to cross the bridge because they were scared to cross the bridge. And I almost wonder if it wasn't like, this is our Queen of Swords who was like, hey, you don't have to freak out. Like, have the courage, cross the bridge. I'm right over here. And they bared their teeth and don't you try to kiss me. Don't you try to be gentle with me. Don't you try to love me. That's kind of what it looks like. Isn't there some song about that? Like, don't try to love me. Some woman sings that. I can't think of her name. It's kind of like an indie song. Anyway, somebody realizes now it was fear that made him not cross the bridge. It wasn't like, oh, I don't think she's good enough, I'm not going to go toward her. They're recognizing how their fear. Why were they scared? Why were they scared? We have got the 7 of Cups in the reverse and the 3 of Swords, because they were sure it would end in heartbreak. It would, for them or for her? For them or for her? Why? Because I have to ask that, because there's a feminine on the card, and so far it looks like the drawing itself, it reminds me of the Queen of Swords. So I don't know why they would have been sure that they would hurt her feelings. 2 of Wands, 2 of Coins in the reverse, 8 of Cups. Okay, so this person already knew they're not good in relationships. Secretly, maybe they actually want to be alone. They thought a lot about, but what if I could be in a relationship with her? No, I know that when push comes to shove, either this person believes that they always have to be alone. They might be someone who insists that they always have to be a loner, or that they will be left alone, that it would always be like she might get to still be able to choose them or someone else. Like, there's no guarantees that someone will continue to love you. So it could have either been that they already knew they would run at some point out of that fear, or that I feel like this person always thinks that they're going to end up alone. Now, that might be a self-fulfilling prophecy because they secretly want to be alone, but it doesn't look like that when we have the 2 of Wands here, because this is the standing at a crossroads, not quite knowing, and it's a feminine here. I feel like they were worried that they would never, in any relationship, they'll never trust that someone will stay with them. So at some point, they always make sure they sabotage so that they leave. They do this in every relationship in this story. So what's the purpose of this story? What's the purpose of this story? Because honestly, I care a lot about the Queen. I think we might have to do a part 2 on this one, because I really would like to see about that Queen. What's the purpose of this right now? And I will do a part 2 for the Queen. Blasted Tower. Something's got to change. Okay, we're going to pick up part 2 right from here. I'm not even going to change these cards. I'm not going to move them around, but it's 28 minutes right now. We're going to pause here so I can get up and move around for just a second, and then I'll do a part 2. You guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I will list part 2 in the description box right above the name of the winners as soon as I record part 2. Okay, so I will be doing it almost immediately after this. And you can also, you'll always be able to find, part 2. I'll put it at the end of the video, but it takes a little while for me to be able to do that. It'll like pop up on the screen at the end of this video. And you can also always find them in the playlist. That is the bonus general message playlist. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out with me. Bye.